Welcome back. The funeral service of the Gauteng Legislature MP and ANC Tshwane Deputy Chairperson Mapiti Matsena is underway in Limpopo. These are live visuals. Matsena was stabbed to death at his home in Doornpoort, north of Pretoria, last week. A number of mourners, including government officials from Gauteng and Limpopo, are attending the service. Several people clad in ANC colours are also among the mourners. Let's go there now live.
Contribution to the mass democratic movement. We are thus robbed of a committed and dedicated servant of the people in every sense of the word. A person who worked with the people on the ground on actual day-to-day challenges facing the safety and security of our people. His latest portfolio as chairperson of Community Safety in the Gauteng Provincial Legislature was a perfect fit for Member Matsena because he knew the issues of community safety in the province and he knew the issues on the ground because he was one of the people who never shied away from the challenge of furthering a cause he believed in. And I'm sure we're all aware that there was a problem also in the week before his passing on in one church, and in that problem the members of the security cluster were also said to be involved. And he was the first to step in to say, I want to know how they find themselves in that particular challenge. Whether they are members of the church is immaterial, but because they hold this position that they should be in the side of the people and actually defend the people. But if they find themselves in the opposite of the law, Comrade Mapiti wanted to know the answers. Here they come and measured approach with a presence that brought air into any room and hope to any gathering. He had determination and zeal to make a difference with a life characterized by the fight for a safer and more secure Gauteng and all its people. To make a difference in the way that he did was no easy task, but with determination, humbleness, and dedication, he discharges mandate and responsibilities with excellence. He was smart. That's what my provincial secretary said, and I know it. He used to sit next to me when we were sitting in the PEC and in the PMC. And he declared, Comrade Mapiti, you are smart. That's how he will respond. My purpose here, however, as difficult as it may be, is not one of despair, but in the spirit of late Matsena is one of hope. The brightness of his life by far outshine the darkness of his passing. So this is not a message of despair, it is a message of hope. It is not a message of death, it is a message of life. A good heart has stopped beating, but a heart that has touched so many lives can't help but live on in those it inspired. We therefore take inspiration from the life of the late Matsena and continue his passion, walking in his footsteps in the service of our people, and this is what characterizes him, and it is what should characterize all of us. As we reflect on the life of late Comrade Mapiti, we are reminded of the profound ways of the struggle hero, Comrade Basil February, when he said, I quote, a guerrilla is one who fights to free his people from bondage and enslavement. The prospect of death does not even arise in his mind, as his life will go on in the hearts of a nation that will remember him. I close quote. The legendary Amartya stressed that working for the development of the people makes a person a freedom fighter. Thus, working as a chairperson for safety and security in Gauteng, Member Matsena was not only a freedom fighter during the struggle, but he remained a true freedom fighter till his dying day. Long live the undying spirit of Comrade Matsena, long live a fighting warrior of the people, a true public servant. The spear has fallen, and it is now up to us to pick it up. Let us pick up the spear for espousing late Matsena's legacy and taking from the examples of his selfless life and incredible work ethic. Let us pick up the spear by being the change we wish to see in our country. Let us pick up the spear by promoting, encouraging, and being exemplary in terms of determination, resolution, and humility. Let us pick up the spear by being of service to the people. And I'm saying this because, Deputy Speaker, you mentioned he is coming late in your meetings, but in my meeting, he was never late. If he ever would be late, he will either send an SMS or even telephone and say, Madam Speaker, I'm late because of this particular reason. When he is in the house, when he's supposed to go out, he will send an SMS. And he was not aware at some stage to say, normally my phone, I leave my phone in the office, I don't carry my phone when I'm in the house. But later I will say, thank you very much for being a responsible leader in our province. With those words on behalf of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, allow me to express sincerest condolences to the family, friends, colleagues, and loved ones of the late Honorable Matsena. We are by your side during this most difficult period of pain and sorrow. Honorable Matsena, we are saddened by your departure, but we are not demoted. Rather, we are re-energized and motivated by the lessons and legacy you have left for us. We will carry your legacy with distinction and will not let you down, nor will not fail you. Those we love and cared for can never be more than a thought away. For as long as there's a memory, they live in our hearts. Wishing you strength for today and hope for tomorrow. Because we know who o tla re bulela lekgoro tsohle tsa lehodimo ka nako tsohle. Hamba kahle qabane, hamba kahle comrade wethu, till we meet again.
Ikupandate muruti aitukise utlavua after utlarifalentswi after Renee. Is Renee ready? Oh yes, please come through. Come to the fore to read the wreath and the obituary. Thank you.
Obituary of the late Honorable Mr. David Mapiti Matsena. Mapiti David Blake Jesus Matsena was born on the 17th of July 1966 at Pretoria, Sekakane. He was the second born of Joyce Matsena. Mapiti had 4 siblings: the late sister Matlo, the late brother Lucky, while Matsena and Sanet are the only 2 surviving brothers and sisters, respectively. He started his lower primary schooling in 1975 to 1976 at Pretoria, Sekakane, Haposhi Machaka. In 1977, there was a forced removal and relocation to Mopodi Hamantata, then known as Tozelerengwa, where he continued his education at Tshwane Primary School. At Momolele, he did his Standard 2 and 3 before being promoted to Standard 5 in 1980. He matriculated at VP Mantata Senior Secondary School, Polokwane, in 1985. He then came to Atteridgeville and stayed with his family, where he became an active citizenry and voluntary young lion. In 1986, he was arrested during the state of emergency and detained at Winterville police station, When they were transferring to ODI police station, Mapiti maneuvered and escaped from the police cells. Between 1982 and 1995, Honorable Matsena furthered his studies, where he later graduated with B.Proc law degree at UNISA Visa campus in Mamelodi. He studied and obtained several certificates at University of Pretoria for program in local government law and municipal administration, and also at UNISA for certificate in local government management. Honorable Matsena started working at Greater Pretoria Metropolitan Council immediately after the first democratic elections as Chief Committee Secretary, Office of the Executive Chairperson in 1995 until 2000. He's heralded and molded his competency and as a specialist in drafting and processing committee resolutions. He sadly and deservedly climbed the ladder of success as he proved his mettle after service.
Seems to have lost that link. I think we have it back. Let's go back there.
Executive Mayor Father Mangaliso Mkhatshwa in the newly reconfirmed city of Tshwane Metropolitan. Honorable Matsena was later promoted as a director in 2006 in the same office of the Executive Mayor as General Manager, Director of the Government Services until 2007. He was transferred to Corporate and Shared Department of Property Director in 2007 to 2009, where he was responsible for the property of the city. In 2009, he was appointed Strategic Executive Head of Department in the Office of the Speaker, becoming the head of Secretariat of the local legislature. In 2016, after the local government elections, he was deployed as the ANC councillor and opposition leader of the ANC in council, and also as the COT representative at SALGA responsible for government's committee. After the 2019 elections, he has again joined to the legislature as the member of the provincial legislature, where he was also appointed as chairperson of the Community Safety Committee, playing an oversight role on the police and MEC community safety. Comrade Faith Mazibuko in Gauteng, his main task was to ensure the law enforcement agencies as its leaders are doing the work and to protect the people of Gauteng. He survived many bruising political battles, but he did not shy away from overextending his hand of reconciliation and peace to those with whom he differed. He never bore grudges, and in fact, he taught us that forgiveness is the best form of revenge. He would rather focus on the strategic imperatives necessary to rebuild and unite the movement to its force by glory than to concentrate on petty non-essential issues. Leader of COSAS in 1986 in Limpopo, while attending boarding at Mohodi, Hamantata, and the former Moiko Mohodi Youth Congress in Limpopo, Mohodi, Hamantata. He moved to Gauteng in Atteridgeville and continued to be actively involved in underground activities under the stewardship of the late Comrade Andrew Phala Bosi. He served in the ANC Youth League as a chairperson in Atteridgeville.
All right, unfortunately, we lost that link there. That was the funeral service of Gauteng Legislature MP and ANC Tshwane Deputy Chairperson Mapiti Matsena underway in Limpopo. Matsena, you'll remember, was stabbed to death at his home in Doornpoort, north of Pretoria.